Have you ever been scrolling on Instagram when suddenly you feel your stomach drop? You've seen somebody's family or their career or their holiday, and before you even know it, something inside you has shifted, it's changed. You feel small, left behind, like you're failing somehow. For a long time, I thought that feeling meant there was something wrong with me, that I was petty, ungrateful, jealous, and that I was a really bad person. But what I understand now, with my own experience and my work as a neurotherapist, is that these painful comparisons that we tend to do isn't a flaw, it's a signal. And today, I want to talk about how painful comparison isn't something that we might want to get rid of, but actually something you can listen to and learn from. Because sometimes it can show you areas of growth, what you really need, and things that you maybe don't realise, but what you really want. A few years ago, I wanted to have a second baby, and it was on my mind all the time. You know, the hoping, the waiting, the planning, the disappointment when it didn't happen, and then the hope that next time it might. One day, I was scrolling on Instagram, and I saw my friend I hadn't seen for a while, and she was there, and she was pregnant. And the reaction completely surprised me. My heart started racing. My thoughts went, two to the dozen, and I just went into complete shock. Intellectually, it didn't make sense because I loved my friend and I was happy for her, but my body didn't feel happy. It went into overwhelm, and that's when the thoughts started coming. Why is everybody moving forward when I'm not? What's wrong with me? Why am I so left behind? And that is the part that hurts, because when we're comparing ourselves, we do think that it's about that thing that we're comparing, the baby, the house, the milestone. But actually in the body, it just feels like danger. But no amount of telling yourself that you're happy for them can override the nervous system and what that's experiencing. When this feeling shows up, we usually respond in one or two ways. We either push through or we collapse. And for me, usually I go into kind of push through. I will try even harder, research, plan, do better. But really all it's doing is disconnecting me from my feelings. And if I'm already tired, it's going to make me even more exhausted. And the other way is to collapse, to numb out, to scroll even more, even feel like sort of punishing yourself by looking at even more images of the same thing that's put you in a bad place to begin with, or eating and trying to push those feelings away. Without realising it, you can turn this nervous system signal into a story about your own worth. Looking back, I can see clearly now that my reaction wasn't about that other person. It was my nervous system responding to a sense of threat. For most of human history, belonging wasn't optional. It was purely survival. If you were left behind, you didn't just feel uncomfortable, it was unsafe. So our nervous system evolved to constantly scan, look for danger, make sure that we're part of a group, that we belong, because that meant that we were safe. If there is a risk of falling behind, then that signals danger. So that drop in your stomach, it's actually part of our biological makeup. And it's not weakness. It's not because you're a not very nice person. It's protection. The problem is our nervous system was evolved to work with a small group of people around us, not the whole world, and not from scrolling and seeing everybody, like thousands of people all at the same time. We can compare ourselves to all of them. Who's behind, who's in front. No wonder it's exhausting. That's why saying just stop comparing doesn't work, because we can't think ourselves out of a nervous system response, especially one that's been hardwired into us for millions of years. So if comparison isn't a flaw, we can't just stop doing it. What do we do? And this is where we can begin to see things differently. The next time that feeling appears, you may want to stop and sit with that feeling and ask, what is it pointing to? What is this telling me? And when I felt that envy about having a baby, it wasn't just because I wanted to have a baby. It was because I wanted to feel connected and part of something. I wanted to feel like I belonged. Ultimately, I wanted to feel safe. And once I recognised that, I could do something about that through connecting with people who I loved, through rest, being around people who made me feel safe, looking at all those areas of my life to see if there's anything missing. Maybe I was working too much. Maybe I was too busy. Maybe I wasn't spending enough time with my friends. Seeing where I could improve those areas so I felt more balanced. If you feel jealous because somebody's been on holiday, it might not be about the holiday. It might be just because you want to connect with people. It might be just because you feel a little bit lonely. And there's nothing wrong with that, because humans need connection. It's as much as we need sleep, we need to eat, we need connection. It's not weakness. It's something that is just a basic need. And if it's missing, because modern life can easily take us away from real connection. We're working at home, we're on our screens, especially after COVID. We don't have the same opportunities to connect with people as much as we did. So to notice it and do something about it is a really important step to be taking care of ourselves and the other people who we connect with, because they need it too. We don't need to stop comparison completely. That's not realistic. But we can use it as a guide, we can use it as a tool, we can use it as a little signal that when it pops up, we can go, okay, what's that referring to? We just have to sit and listen to see what it's telling us. Start to see things differently and change and feel different, feel better.